Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any questions regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. The goal of my YouTube channel is to show you the fast cooking system, which is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and tempeh-based cooking. It is a cooking system that will allow you to cook with spontaneity and intuition, so you can make home cooking as part of your daily routine. And this will allow you to walk in the kitchen each evening and to put a meal on the table in less than 20 minutes with all fresh ingredients. Now in this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to make a fried rice which use venison. Now I'm going to first coat the venison with my Walk with Tak basic seasoning mix. And then I'm also going to coat it with a thin layer of cornstarch. Now the question you have is that, why do you use venison? The reason is that my neighbor gave some venison to me. And one day they invited us over for dinner. And I decided I'm going to cook a venison fried rice for them. And then after that, I'm going to add just a touch of sugar. This is the same marinade method that I use for almost all my proteins. I call it a dry marinating method. Next is that I'm using a hamburger meat masher to mix up the ground beef. Now for the fried rice, it is very important that the rice has to be dry. I usually store my rice in the refrigerator for about somewhere between 24 to 48 hours before I'm going to use them for fried rice. However, you can store them much longer if that's what you like. A lot of time, there's a lot of flexibility, but the most important thing is that you have to keep the rice as dry as possible. Now I discovered the best thing to make fried rice, provide you the greatest efficiency and convenience, is to break up the rice before you add it to the wok. Again, this hamburger meat masher turned out to be excellent for this purpose. And once you break up the rice, you will find that the stir frying process in making fried rice is much easier. Okay, now I am ready. First of all, I'm cook the fried rice first. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of canola oil. Now again, this is a basic format that I use all the time. This is the kind of oil that I use, so I don't really have to think about it. And then I'm going to season my stainless steel wok with my spot sealing method. The method is very simple. Basically, I heat up the oil to its smoking point, and I let it smoke for about 15 seconds. And then I am ready to cook. And this is a time when the oil is at its highest temperature. And it's also a good way, if you cook with proteins, it will help you to sear the protein. But in this case, in order to cook with the egg, you definitely do not want the egg to stick to the bottom surface of the wok. And therefore, seasoning the wok is absolutely essential. As you can see in here, the egg do not stick at all. I can move the egg freely on the surface of the wok. This is important, and this seasoning method works really well. It not work only for a stainless steel wok. It also works for cast iron, carbon steel, or light cast iron wok. So it is an efficient method for almost all cooking surface that has a natural surface. Next, I add the rice to the wok. As you can see, the rice is already broken up. Now, in the past, I make a mistake that I would try to break up the rice while they are in the wok. And even by using the hamburger meat masher, this turned out to be quite a challenging task because the rice can be very hard, particularly if you have stored them in the refrigerator for quite some time. The next step is that I basically break up the egg, and the egg will break up further as you continue to stir fry. Now next, I'm going to add in some scallions. Now this is a lot of flexibility when you make a fried rice. You can use all different kinds of ingredients as long as that ingredients are able to cook very rapidly. Because fried rice cook really quickly, and so if you have things that require long cooking time, it is necessary for them to be cooked in advance, so they will cook to the texture and doneness that you want. Okay, now the fried rice is almost done, and it takes only about a few minutes. And then I'm going to add some salt to season the fried rice. You can season the fried rice in any way that you would like. I'm going to season it very lightly because the venison is going to have a strong flavor. I'm going to cook the venison with a teriyaki flavor. So it will provide the fried rice very nice flavor. And in this case, the fried rice serves as almost like a background. It's almost like the canvas that where the venison is going to go on. Okay, now I have the fried rice plated. I'm now ready to stir fry the venison. I'm going to use about 8 ounces of venison. Now actually this is an interesting experiment for me because my neighbor's wife do not like venison at all, and she said that she just don't like the flavor of it. So when I make this fried rice, I feel that if I season it correctly, she might not even know that it is venison. So this is an experiment I try to test. And so I'm going to season this fried rice with a teriyaki flavor. And using this approach, the venison actually will not be very noticeable. So as you can see, I'm going to fry the venison to the point that it actually turned out to be slightly crispy. I'm going to actually use some Shaoxing cooking wine to do my spot cleaning. Some of the venison has stuck to the bottom of the wok, and this will give the venison a better flavor and also maybe better to disguise its venison traditional flavor that one associate with it. So as you can see, the Shaoxing cooking wine does a very good job in doing the spot cleaning, and I'm able to remove all the food ingredients that might have burned to the bottom surface of the wok. This is an important step because it makes cleaning the wok much easier. So the next is that I'm going to season the wok first with some oyster sauce. And I'm going to season it quite heavily. So I'm going to use quite a bit of oyster sauce, which is about 1.5 tablespoons. Now the oyster sauce will provide great umami flavor to the venison. But in order to create a teriyaki flavor for the venison, I'm going to combine it with also hoisin sauce. Hoisin sauce is known for its sweetness. The combination of the two will provide that teriyaki flavor. Again, this is the significance of template-based cooking because instead of create a teriyaki sauce from scratch, I use this method. And next, I am going to add a small amount of water because I want to create a slighter flavor in terms of a light sauce with it. But make sure you don't add too much. And by adding a small amount, I also clean the wok at the same time. Now, the next step is that I'm going to season the venison with a little bit of dark soy sauce. The dark soy sauce is less salty than the light soy sauce, but it has a kind of like a caramel flavor and gives the venison a more teriyaki-like than if I just use hoisin sauce and oyster sauce. But it also adds color to the venison. And then after taste test, I decided to add a little bit more sugar to it to create more sweetness for the venison. So as you can see, as I am constructing the flavor, I'm layering different layers of ingredients to season this dish. And all the seasoning ingredients can be added accordingly. And then with flavor chasing, you can continue to adjust the flavor of the ingredients. Since the rice is not flavored very much, I'm going to add some additional soy sauce to create greater saltiness to this venison. So after I did a quick few stir frying, and you can see it take on a very nice coloration. And when I taste it, it is an excellent teriyaki flavor. Now, again, this is a template. In a previous video, I have demonstrated how to cook a similar dish using beef. And in the future, I will also demonstrate how to use ground pork. However, each of these meats has different characteristics. Some of them has stronger flavor than the others. This dish is extremely easy and simple to cook, and you will be able to cook it with no problem at all. Because if you have adopted my fast cooking system, and if you have learned the basic template for how to make fried rice, you will always make a perfect fried rice. Now you can add whatever ingredients that you want on top of the fried rice, or in some cases to cook together with the fried rice, and you will achieve the result that you are looking for. It is the flexibility and adaptability of this cooking system will give you tremendous power. You are now able to cook almost anything that you want as long as you're able to follow some of the basic guidelines for the template. I think just remember each of the template has some specific aspects of it that require you to follow. And in this case, this template for fried rice, the specific aspect is to make sure you store the rice in the refrigerator for about 24 to 48 hours. So when you make the fried rice will be at the perfect texture that you want. And each time you can make further adjustment to it. So finally, I garnish the dish with just a touch of scallions. Now, scallion is a very wonderful ingredient to have on hand. I have scallion added directly to the fried rice, but I'm also added scallion to the venison as well. So, as you can see, once you have a system, cooking almost anything that you would like is really straightforward. Now, I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine, and hopefully you will be able to use this cooking system to replace fast and ultra-processed food in your diet. And eating food that cooked from scratch using all fresh ingredients is a tremendous benefit to your long-term health investment. Okay, if you'd like to learn more about this fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.